Our girls are our livelihood, and if it weren't for them, we wouldn't be able to do what we love, which is farming. We also wouldn't be able to provide our kids with such an amazing upbringing. If a disease as devastating as the likes of foot and mouth were to enter New Zealand, it would not only impact our herd and New Zealand's farming industry, but our entire economy. Mycoplasma bovis has been a real wake-up call, and we cannot continue to rely solely on our borders for protection. We need to change our attitudes around biosecurity and start at the farm gate. Animal movement between farms is inevitable, so registering and complying with NATE is essential. Biosecurity ties in well with health and safety requirements, so when inducting visitors on farm, provide a foot bath and brush to disinfect their footwear on arrival and departure. We're all in this together. It takes all of us to protect what we've got.
So as far back as I can remember, we've had Hondas and going on 20 plus years.
I've never tried any other brands. I've always had Hondas, so that's 40 years of straight Hondas. They just keep going.
The engineering on the Honda is really, really impressive. It's simple yet effective, and I think that's one of the major reasons why they're so rock solid reliable.
I'll definitely stay with Honda. The service is second to none that we're getting.
We've just had such a good rep with the local dealership.
We always get such great service.
They're easy to maintain and cheap to maintain, and they're just bulletproof.
Every day I jump on, crank it up and away we go, and never have any problems. It's great.
We're just helping out at the Young Farmers Agri-Kids.
Today's about doing a whole lot of fun stuff to do with farming.
Hello.
3, 2, 1.
I was really excited about it.
Lots of volunteers put in a lot of time and effort to put these sort of activities on for the kids.
A day like today definitely brings together all of the farmers.
Yay!
An opportunity to get off the farm and do something else is really important, so yeah, it's great. Sure.
They're giving us lots of clues. They're really nice and helpful.
Just the fact that everybody's here to help each other out, we're very grateful.
Who wants to be a farmer when they grow up?
Oh, me!
It just does everything, doesn't it?
I bumped into Mike Gibson in town the other day. He was all fired up about some new well-being program for farmers. Reckons you can do yourself a world of good if you do some things differently. Like getting away from the farm whenever you can. I'd love to see a farmer around here have time for that. Sure, I'd eat more healthily if I could, but you need to eat something on the go. Getting more exercise is apparently something we should be doing too. But it's not like we're sitting behind a desk all day, is it? And sure, I'd love to get a good night's sleep. For some reason, I always wake up.
For some simple tips on how to look after yourself on the farm, check out the Farm Strong website and see how living well can help you to farm well.
Whatever comes out, we put straight back in. So do we.
At FMG, we like to give back wherever we can, which is why we're so stoked to support the FMG Young Farmer of the Year contest and get in behind all this year's deserving finalists. And all the amazing volunteers. All the best from everyone at FMG. We're here for the good of the country.
Bei jeder Ernte frage ich mich, how do I get 100% out of every last seed?
Pour nourrir la planète et cultiver de manière durable, मुझे एक साथी की जरूरत है, जो खेत में हमेशा मेरा साथ दे.
E che stia al mio fianco finché non sia piantato l'ultimo seme.
Bis die letzte Reihe geerntet ist.
So let's work as a big family.
Let's get it done.
Massey has a proud history advancing knowledge for the primary industries. We educate leaders and work with our industry partners to find innovative and sustainable solutions through research and development. Our graduates provide New Zealand and the world with the latest knowledge and expertise across the food value chain. Massey is proud to be a part of the FMG Young Farmer of the Year.
Welcome to Southfields, you're speaking with Emma.
That gets me moving.
Southfields keep dairy moving.
They also keep wine moving.
They keep schools moving.
They also keep Kaimoana moving.
Southfields keeps our communities moving.
Southfields keeps New Zealand's primary
industries moving.
The key to good health and safety, I reckon, just keeping it simple, doesn't have to be overcomplicated, integrate it into just everyday conversations, and ultimately it's all about getting home safe.
Once that practice is embedded and people are comfortable talking about those things, then it can become a common practice on farm.
It's just about improving our physical well-being, our mental well-being, and at the end of the day, we're going to perform our jobs more safely as a result.
To need to be aware of your own mental fatigue and your stress and what you're working through, because the job's always going to be there. If it waits till tomorrow or it gets done tomorrow, as long as you get home safely and without injury or without any incidents.
One of the biggest shifts in my mindset around health and safety was when I made the shift from thinking about what I'm protecting myself from to thinking about what I'm protecting myself for. So if that risk does come to fruition and I do hurt myself, well then what am I going to miss out on?
The key to good health and safety is probably just around communicating and having a bit of a team culture. Yeah, it's a long-term thing. You don't want to be burnt out, you don't want to be injured. It's a long-term game.
You basically want to be getting everyone home at the end of the day safely so that they can come to work the next day and to have the opportunity to grow within the industry and achieve some of their goals long-term.
Kia ora, folks. Welcome to the spectacle that is the FMG Young Farmer of the Year Agri-Sports event for 2021. I'm just going to say at the outset, this is a doozy, a cracker, a challenge beyond, I think, just about any of the other agri-sports I have seen over the years. Just for your information, we are going to begin sort of slightly further down the course. You can see those large PTS trucks, part of the family of sponsors, PTS. So sort of down towards there. If you want to drift down towards there, most of the beginning action will be happening down there. And then as we go through the 45 minutes of this event, which will be a grueling event for the competitors, we will make our way back up the course. So if you are coming over from the farmlets, now's a good time to stroll down towards the other end, unless, of course, you've settled yourself in to a comfortable grandstand. You've got your blanket and your cake, and you're wrapped up, and you're not moving. If you are standing at this end, currently, worst view. So do feel free to head down the course. That is where we are going to beginning. Down the far end of the course, past the tractors, those beautiful New Hollands, down towards the PTS trucks, but not so close you spook the sheep. Our FMG Young Farmer of the Year Grand Finalists will be arriving. We're giving them a chance to catch their breath. They're going to come down and receive their briefing for the course. As I say, beginning down by the PTS trucks. I reckon there's a challenge in even just walking the length of the course. I'm exhausted. I haven't been cracking into it since the start of the day. I haven't put together a farmlet where they basically gave them all of the work you could just about achieve in July and went, do it this morning. A heck of a lot of work on those farmlets, enough to exhaust you, and they are now going to be faced with what is an absolutely monumental Agri-Sports challenge. A statement that has provided little to no reassurance to our 7 grand finalists. As they catch their breath and ready themselves. So as I say, do feel free to drift down towards the PTS trucks. A lot of the action beginning down there. Choose the side of the course that your competitor is going to be on. Just judiciously choose a side. If they're in the centre, your call. Beautiful winter afternoon here at Templeton. The ground is firm underfoot. The breeze is soft, with a kind of chill that you might get if you open your fridge to take out some cheese so that you can let it warm in the winter sun. Have on some crackers. So the organising committee is just down the far end of the course. There is a task for our grand finalists to compete in before they begin the times part of it. 45 minutes, the time they have for this course. It is going to be a cracking pace for them. Once they are done that, they've got a chance to have a little bit of a sit down, and then we will see them on stage tonight at the Christchurch Town Hall for their speeches. Tomorrow they can relax before the quiz. So we're just making sure that everything is set up, and then we will call the competitors down to the end. Wish I had a little cart to drive down here. It's a long way. Wait till they find out how far they've got to run back if they get a safety infraction. A lot of jogging today. So much jogging. So there are the competitors. Their tools are low. God, I tell you what, some of them look exhausted just pushing their wheelbarrows along, and frankly, I'm not surprised. They've had a big day. If any of you are their employers, let me strongly suggest that you do not attempt to give them this much work to complete on any given day. This is an unusual day. Hi, Rasheen, how are you? So, we're lining up competitors just on this side of the hay bale. I'm just marvelling at the cruelty of this particular Agri-Sports event. It is going to be a beauty! Loving it! All right, contestants are gathering in to receive the briefing document. It is onerous. There is an enormous amount to do in a very short time to do it. A very, very short time. Some of you can see some of the things that need to be done. There's clearly some form of skinny tree, oxyacetylene kit, tractors, plants, chainsaws, motorbikes, pipes, bales of hay, posts, and sheep. Just going to let them have their briefing. So if you are in the crowd, if you gather around about by where the hay bales are down this end of the course on the other side of the beautiful New Holland tractors, that's about as far down as you need to go. Sarah's giving them their briefing. They are looking askance. Should allocate 45 minutes to read the briefing document, so much is there to do.
Definitely not. Okay. Your footbath needs to be here, and you have to walk through your footbath. So we put that there before we start. Yeah, we'll put that there before you start. The skipping rope? Yeah. We'll get to that. Yeah, we'll get to that. On the list. Yeah. I'm gonna read it. So, this is where you're going to put your 2 bungee gates up. So this is installing a pair of bungee gates. This creates your stand down spot. So if you get red flagged after this point, or if you get red flagged before this point, you're going to be standing here. 30 seconds, you're going to be skipping. Yeah. Is it 30 seconds from when the whistle blows? No, it's 30 seconds once you get here.
Oh, and they have to skip while standing here.
Yes. You must open and shut your gates each time. Okay?
Seems like a dawdle.
Bungee gates.
Well, it does.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Make sense? Yep. Okay. What you're going to be doing is you're going to take note as we walk along now, but with your gear, but you're going to be taking your wheelbarrow with your gear along with you. Okay? Right.
So, they are having their briefing. Seeing as there was a lot to get through, I'll tell you what's going to happen. They're going to begin with the classic sheep count. There are some sheep down there in a pen who are looking around with that look that sheep have to say, hey, I'm a sheep. They need to be counted. While the counting of the sheep happens, we as a collective need to be quiet. No yelling out, no hooting, no hollering, no yelling out of random numbers. We'll let the contestants count those sheep as best they can. That is not part of the timed event. There are points for it. But they'll all get to count the sheep. When they're all in position, then we'll start the 45 minutes. Boy, oh boy, do they have a lot to do. You can see the PTS trucks. They need to tie down the fence posts in their marked lane. Tie down 2 fence posts to the truck deck using the strops provided. I love a strop. Like to get them nice and tight and then can literally never get them undone again. Actually, I don't know whether there's points for whether or not those strops come undone. I can never put them through the right way. That actually should be the thing. Can you put the strop on a truck and then undo it again? They've got an MPI footpath. They've got to put their footpath down and walk through that in line with biosecurity measure. They've got some bungee gates to put up. You can see where their wheelbarrows are. Install a pair of bungee gates between the 2 marked posts at a suitable fencing height. This is also their stand down point. If during the event they are red flagged, they need to come back to their bungee gates, go through the gates, and for 30 seconds utilise the skipping rope for its designated purpose of skipping. I know, it's cruel. Skip for 30 seconds, back through the gates, crack back into it again. Hay bale and barrel. To proceed, you must go over the bale and through the barrel every time. And every time you're sent down to the stand down spot, over and through again. No running jumps or barrel rolls, safety before speed. You can see there is a log in a holder next to their chainsaws. Cut 3 even rings off the log using the chainsaw. Motorbike is there. Don't worry about the motorbike. You'll get back to that later. University logos are on blocks. They need to wear gloves. The blocks are distributed along the course. They need to collect the blocks and assemble them at the spot that is marked using the little wagon they built this morning in the engineering module. That would be enough for most of us for the day. They're not even halfway. Remember, they must be on their side so the crowd can easily see the logos. The blocks are 13 kilograms each. So this is where they get to showcase the sack barrow they made this morning. A little bit of bush trimming. Thanks very much. Thank you. I'm allowing one woman to laugh inappropriately at that. They're using their still hedge trimmer to shape the Pittosporum tree into a topiary ball. So, they need to trim their bush into a ball. New Holland, you'll need to turn your tractor around within the laneway, attach the drill, drive forward and park in the allocated area. They need to hand broadcast some seed onto the mat on the ground. They get to their oxyacetylene kit. They need to cut the Blue Wing Honda logo into the steel plate. Honda, they have been with us for 51 years. Unbelievable. Give them a shout out as we get up to that part. They've got to pick some fruit. Get the bike key out of the pipe with the water pump. So connect the water tank to the pump. Connect the outflow to the pipe. Turn the pump on until the key appears. They need to fell the tree onto a balloon. Just need to fell the tree. Run back, drive the bike up the course. They will run up. Michelle from FMG is going to be at the end. The first up there wins. Does that seem like a lot to you? Yeah, I just read it out and I'm exhausted. It's going to be a cracker. They've got 45 minutes to do that. It's going to take 45 minutes basically to give them their briefing. They've got to make their way all the way back down. They'll be thoroughly briefed and they will crack into it. And that 45 minutes is going to absolutely fly past. For us, not for them. It'll seem like a lifetime. May seem like 2 lifetimes. They may think, you know, entering this competition was awesome. And it is. But they are going to be thoroughly exhausted at the end of this. So a massive thanks to all of the organisers of the grand final who've really put their heads together, come up with a great challenge. Should have painted a big logo on the ground so that all of those flights can see what's happening. Is it like the guy in Sydney with the big warehouse who painted Perth on the roof? Welcome to Perth. Classic. And who knows where the challenges are going to come. It looks pretty simple to get those tractors started, turn them round, put that drill on. But I have seen in other grand finals that is something that will absolutely stump some of the competitors. We haven't quite got to the stage, I don't think, maybe we have New Holland, where you can basically allow the tractor to automatically engage with the implement. Very efficient, takes the fun out of it though. And a huge thanks to the sponsors, the likes of New Holland, who have got all of these tractors here today. Just a massive logistical scenario to get these tractors and seed drills here today. Really appreciate it. They're probably looking at Still and Honda and thinking, gosh, you just had to bring some bikes and chainsaws and hedge trimmers. We had to lug truckloads of tractors in. It was great having one in the main street in town yesterday on the Avon as well for that excellent opening parade. How good were the Army Band? Jaunty. So they are being briefed now. They're at the final briefing up at the tree. Even the effort of getting all of those logs stuck into the ground, super great. So the final questions being asked. They've had, through the course of this briefing, a chance to recover physically from finishing off their farmlets. Because they will need every ounce of physical and mental strength they have left to get through this course. Big shout out as well today to the FMG junior young farmers. Some of those farmlets this morning, superb work. I don't know if any of you got a chance to go and see some of the fencing and some of the gates that were made for those, but I tell you what, they were very, very good. Some parents looking on and thinking, might get you to do some more fencing when you get home. Whip up some gates. Might not get too many dog kennels built. I just want to go for a hoon on one of these little Honda CT 125s. Cracking little bikes. So just final questions being asked and answered. The real question is going to be asked out on this course. Can anyone get through it in 45 minutes? This is where the psychological game starts. Fascinating having a chat with former Young Farmer of the Year Grand Final winner Logan Wallace around where the mental game comes in at this time of the day. Looking at the challenges and thinking, how much do I need to do to get a few points before I move on? Because it is also a game of strategy. Points available for every one of the tasks. Is it worth getting more points by staying longer? Or a good amalgam of points by getting through and giving everything a go? You don't get any points for the log if you don't cut the log down. Initially, I saw an axe there. I thought, oh, they've got to axe the log down, but no. Chainsaw. Seems crazy to have to axe a log down when you've got an excellent Still chainsaw. Reliable outdoor power equipment. Here they are coming back down the course with a look of eager anticipation on their faces. What about a round of applause for all 7 of them? They've got a spring in their step that says, what have we got ourselves into? Quite jaunty, actually, some of them. Quite a lot of jaunt going on. We'll wear that out of them in the very near future. So they're going to head down to the sheep, at which point we will all stand around quietly and literally watch people count sheep. Let's hope none of them fall asleep. Foot baths out, contestants. Throw your foot baths out. Gird your loins. Head to the sheep. So a reminder that the counting of the sheep is not part of the timed aspect of the competition. Everyone gets a chance to count the sheep. When they're all back in the starting positions, the hooter will sound and we'll have 45 minutes to crack through as much of this as we possibly can. It would take me 45 minutes to tie those posts onto that PTS truck, where they would then stay, because I couldn't untie my strops again. Hello. If you folks over on this side want to come down and see this and watch people count sheep, you are more than welcome to. If you don't, it's going to pretty much look like this. But the person doing it's going to look a little bit more stressed. The sheep, they don't care. They love being counted. It's what they live for. So, quiet around the sheep. I'll be quiet. Sheep are looking edgy. Also looking tasty. We had some very beautiful beef cheek at lunch, courtesy of FMG. Thanks, FMG. For those of you who choose FMG as your provider, thank you. All right, shh. Someone's got a question. There they go, towards the sheep. Don't startle the sheep. Okay, everyone, move away from the sheep. After this, we're going to release the sheep, and the Agri kids are going to chase them. Put them back in the pen. Shh. Those were the springiest sheep I've ever seen. So bouncy. So there they go, the sheep are counted. I don't know how many you got. I reckon there was a lot of sheep. A flock's worth. All right, they're getting back to their positions. Sheep have been counted. Once they're in the lanes, contestants, as soon as you're in your lane and you're ready to go, we'll just get a quick hand signal from you all when you're ready, and we're going to crack into it. We've got the hoot off. Not into your lanes. Into your lanes. Where do they need to stand? So standing next to your strops. They're getting ready. Ladies and gentlemen, the 2021 FMG Young Farmer of the Year Agri-Sports event. They're all ready. 3, 2, 1, hoot! 45 minutes of grueling Agri-Sports begins right now. A massive thanks to the local committee who have put this on. They have really thought about a number of quite difficult challenges. Not difficult in and of themselves, complicated, but they are typical challenges you would face on a property on any given day. You probably wouldn't have to do them all in 45 minutes, but I tell you what, if you did, you could take the rest of the day off. They won't have the rest of the day off. We've got speeches tonight. Great, I'm looking forward to that. Let us see how it is going. And a huge thanks, of course, to the family of sponsors. None of this would happen without the huge support of the family of sponsors. A massive thanks to FMG. Thanks, FMG. Not only the naming rights sponsors, just huge support from all of their staff all over the country. Whenever we turn up to one of these regionals or the grand final, they always put on a magnificent lunch for the competitors and their families. Had one again today. Delicious beef cheek, some ham, a lot of carrots. If anyone's interested in taking away some carrots, there's probably still some spare carrots. So thanks, FMG. And a massive shout out to Honda. This is their 51st year. So 50 years they've been with us. We didn't have the grand final last year. What about a huge round of applause for Honda? 50 years with the event. That I don't know of many sponsors that have been around with an event that long. We really appreciate it. Moving on to the footpaths. So the strops are there. They've got the poles tied down. Onto the footpaths they go. Through those footpaths, and a big thanks to Biosecurity New Zealand MPI. They've joined us this year as part of the family of sponsors. We really appreciate all the work they've done. You can see the beautiful New Holland tractors there. The effort that they took to get those machines here today. We had one by the Avon yesterday as well. Great shout out to Ravensdown, to our two wonderful university partners, Lincoln University and Massey University. Generally, most of our contestants have been through one of those organisations. South Fuels are here, still with their reliable outdoor power equipment. Really great to have WorkSafe on board as well. We really make sure that all of our... Just watching Joseph hit himself on the finger, actually, as I was thanking WorkSafe. Your timing's immaculate. There's no points for comedy timing in this, unfortunately. WorkSafe have been here at each one of these, and we really want to make sure that everyone is safe and that we practice safe workplace habits. And to PCS Logistics, who get us all around the country. None of this would happen without all of them. Or it would, ouch, he says ouch. It would happen, but it'd just be two guys in a ute driving around the country to fields, laying out some stuff and putting on a barbecue. But as you'll see, through the scale of this event, particularly the event tomorrow night, what a tribute to the hundreds and hundreds of hours of volunteer labour that has gone into making these events what they are. So how we're going down the course. They've got to put up those gates. The posts are stropped down. Many of them stropped down casually. Got to put up these gates. They've washed their feet in the footpaths, putting up these two bungee gates. And they will be thinking as they put these bungee gates up, I hope I do not have to come back to this bungee gate for any kind of safety violation, to stand here and skip for 30 seconds. So installing the bungee gates between the two marked posts at a suitable fencing height. Uh-oh, there's the whistle. Fortunately, Rasheen, you don't have far to go. Just to the skipping rope. How's your skipping? Let us all judge you. No pressure. She thought the speeches were going to be the difficult part. She probably didn't. Great speaker, Rasheen. There's the skipping. I'm going to look away. That was the kind of hysterical laughter of... That was a great laugh. It's really going to haunt me, that laugh. I never want to hear a laugh like that again. Did you hear that? It was kind of a laugh of resigned terror. And a massive thanks as well to everyone who's come down to support these contestants. We know how much work has gone into giving them the support they need over the last few months. It's a massive amount of work required from the moment their name is called out at a regional final as their grand champion. And here they are. Dale McElwee down the far end. He's probably thrown up a few of these in his time. He's got 2 up. Jake Jarman next to him. He's got his 2 up. Rasheen Woods well on the way to getting 1 up. Oh, actually, Joseph Watts has moved on. He's slipping into his gloves and chaps. Over the bales and through the barrel they go. Remember, there are points for finishing in a placing order, but there is also points for the quality of work. And it really is up to the contestants to figure out how much time they want to spend at each of the individual events to get as many points as they can. They may not necessarily take it out simply by finishing first, but if they do, they get the points for that and the glamour of being the person who manages to finish first, or indeed in this case, simply finish. Chainsaws going. I've seen a lot of people start chainsaws over the last little while. That's why I went out, I purchased one of the Stihl battery chainsaws. They are crackers. Charge the battery, slip it in, whir. But that is a great noise. Three even logs. 3 even rings they need to cut with those chainsaws. Joseph Watts has done it. He is the first away from the ring. Safety infraction down the end for Dale McElwee. Back to the gate. Oh, no, he's not. Has he got a safety infraction? No. He's straight on to the next event. They must assemble the university logos with the concrete blocks. They weigh 13 kilograms, distributed through the course. The crowd has got to be able to see the logos. They can use their little wheel trolley things they built in the engineering module. No one's saying how many of them they can put on at any one time. Did I hear a whistle? No, yes, no. I would have put longer handles on mine, to be honest. Great, there are the blocks. It's currently neck and neck. Joseph Watts, not sure what happened to his little trolley. Getting those blocks, they've got to make the logo, so it's kind of like an adult jigsaw puzzle. Good for mindfulness. Sure, many of us find jigsaws very relaxing. They will not be finding these jigsaws relaxing. But if you have a child who is hard to entertain and requires a lot of physical discipline, try gluing a jigsaw puzzle to concrete blocks. Off he goes, Jake Jarman. He's moved on. So there's some other blocks down past the tractors. Joseph Watts, no trolley. He's got to carry those blocks. That'll be taking its toll. 13 kilos of concrete on those breeze blocks. They are not a breeze to carry. But if you do lie them on the side, a gentle breeze can make its way through them. Very pleasant. Going to head down the course without being run down by a competitor. There's Joseph Watts. How's Calvin doing? There he is, reappearing with his blocks. Backwards and forwards they're going. Kieran McCann over, getting into his chaps, looking to cut 3 even rings. Rasheen still on the gates, putting those bungee gates together. Kieran McCann slipping into his chaps. That's a very, very long axle. Could put some extra wheels on that just in case it was a little bit muddy today. What's that? So, down the end, as I say, how many bricks do they need? Is it 6? 7. There's the logo. So, they've got to get those bricks assembled so that people can see the logos. We'll just point out that don't get too close to the bricks once they are assembled. Oh, that's complicated. Good balance. So you got the logos on both sides. They've got to make sure they're right. For a second I thought that was the Three Boys logo at the top, but no. Oh, fingers out, Calvin. Massey on one side, Lincoln on the other. Just the top of Massey's logo does look like the Three Boys logo. There they go. Is that it? Great. So, use the still hedge trimmer to shape the Pittosporum ball into a tree into a topiary ball. Calvin Ball is on to that. Jake Jarman has done his already. So, pace-wise, who's setting the pace? It looks like Jake Jarman onto the tractor. First to go. Next to him, Dale is delicately shaping his ball. Calvin Ball onto the tractor. First of the New Hollands fires up. Jake Jarman setting the pace, the young man. Kieran McCann running like a startled gazelle to his block. Hair flowing in the breeze. That is an incredible touch. Look how fast he is. That's the aerodynamics of the haircut. I can vouch for that. Super slick through the air, running back down the far end. Looks like who's that? Jake Jarman, by the look of it, in the stand-down area. Having a skip for 30 seconds and then back into it. He's got a healthy lead to an extent. On to the tractors. Calvin's got his fired up. Joseph Watts next to him. He's back and back. So there they go, neck and neck. Inch by inch, the two of them. Who is going to be better at turning these big machines around and effortlessly easing them into those seed drills? At this stage, looks like Calvin Ball has the edge. He's got the machine around. Meanwhile, down the course, moving to the chainsaw, Rasheen Woods, cutting those rings. She'll be picking points up with every task accomplished. Kieran McCann putting together the jigsaw puzzle logo with both of our university logos on. 13 kilos each, those blocks. There's 2, 4, and 3 is 7 times 3. That's like 90 kilos or something. A lot of blocks. So, three of the tractors successfully turned around. Fourth on the way. Sam is getting his machine turned around. Calvin Ball back in the cab, looking to come back in again. Of course, that is the issue. Having a little look. One of the things when you're backing into those, making sure that that hitch is at the right height. You're not going to know until you've got those tractors round. How are we doing down the far end? The pin is in by the look of it. Yes, first away with the machine hooked up. Dale McElwee. Close behind him, Jake Jarman making up time. He stood down for 30 seconds a little while ago. He's going to be second, I think, into the cab with that machine hooked up. Dale is in there. Can he get it? There it is. He's getting it up. It's up, ladies and gentlemen. Great work down the far end for Dale. Representing the Oldingie region. Look at that. They do a lot of seeding down there. Off he goes. Thumping it away down the course at a respectable but safe speed. Who will be second away? Rasheen looking to get that chainsaw started. Kieran building the block logos of the university. Calvin Ball wrestling with something back there, but it looks as if he's pretty close. He's getting that hydraulic hose in. He's checking everything. Who's going to be next away? We've got two down the far end. There he is. Jake Jarman. He's going to be away, but he's neck and neck with Joseph Watts by the look of it. Safety belts going on. Who's going to be first to get that machine lifted up so they can relocate it down the course? It's going to be... Uh-oh. It's not Jake Jarman. Pin's not in. He's got to get back there, get that machine lifted up. How's Joseph Watts doing? So close. He's just waiting for that pin to drop in. It's sitting there. It's sitting there. He's very close. We've all been in that position before. We don't want to have to get back out and drop that pin in. It just needs to fall, and it's in. He's going to have to get out and give it a bit of a wiggle. They're not light machines to wiggle either. This is not a car trailer or a calf milk wagon. There it is, it's in, it's dropped down. Joseph Watts happy about that. Calvin Ball having a little, what's going on? I don't know. What is going on? Is he standing down? And was it an infraction? Yep, an infraction. He's going to have time to think about what's going on while skipping. Calm yourself through the medium of skipping. Really, really great skipping. Super great skipping. There's no points for this, but that is a masterclass in skipping. All right. You fit young man. Super good skipping. Don't wear yourself out. If you've got that much energy, then I would say, organisers, this course is not difficult enough. How are we doing? Hydraulic hose going in for Sam. Where's Kieran? Getting his tractor sorted out. Having a little think about this. Kieran McCann. Got to get that tractor turned around. Now. And the hydraulic hoses on. He's got the pins to get those hoses on. Lift that. Move it down the course. While down the course. I've forgotten that there was more going on. There's so much going on. Joseph Watts has got the machine hooked up. He's got the hydraulic hose on, but possibly not the right one. Bit of a think. God, I told you these things. It seems. Little bit of interference, perhaps, on the mic. Sorry about that. So, down the far end, onto the gas cutters. Dale McElwee is really setting the pace. 2 tractors now down the course. There's someone else on the... I think there's someone else on our frequency, actually. Probably a taxi driver, some Uber person. We'll just sort that out. Meanwhile, Dale McElwee's got the gas going. Look at that fire. That's a lot of fire, actually. To be fair, good. That's less fire. That's better. Cutting the Blue Wing Honda logo. 51 years, 50 events they've been associated with this. We're only in our 53rd. They've been here basically the whole time. I don't even know. The person who signed the deal's probably not working there anymore. So, Dale is on the gas axe, picked up for a safety infringement. Next to him, Sam is there as well, just about to start cutting that Blue Wing logo. Down the course, wrestling with hydraulics. Joseph Watts onto the seeding. Got to hand seed those seeds. The judges will be having a look to see how well seeded that grass seed is. Have they got an even distribution? Calvin Ball onto the gas torch as well. Let's have a look. Oh, I see someone down the far end. Is it Dale doing some skipping, made more difficult by wearing his leather gas apron? Not easy. Tell you what, the clock is ticking. I don't know how long we've gone, but people are really cracking through this. They've not made it easy for themselves sometimes. Couple of safety infringements. But nonetheless, how they go. Joseph Watts now back into the cab. He's been on that tractor for just a little while. What's Rasheen up to? She's stacking those blocks, making those Massey and Lincoln logos. Young woman with the PhD. Shouldn't be too complicated to make the puzzle happen. Joseph Watts running down the course with his chainsaw. Looking down to see where everyone else is going. Oh, picked up on a safety infraction. Oh, and it was an annoying one too. Have a nice think about it. Gas axes. Love a gas axe, but then they can be temperamental. That's a lot of flame. It's like you're flaring off an actual gas field. I'm going to stand well away from that, although I tell you what, it's quite warming. Who is on to the other one? Sam is. He's having a look in the toolbox. Where's Kieran? Uh-oh, safety infraction picked up. Where's Kieran? He's trying to get that big machine back. I tell you what, it looks so simple to back that tractor in and hook this up, but for anyone who's ever had a go, sometimes the bigger the machines, the more difficult it is to get that tiny little hole to line up with that other tiny little hole to get that tiny little pin to go in. Safety infraction. Calvin Ball, back he goes. Let's see how well he skips in an apron. Kieran McCann, centimetre by centimetre, just to that. But that's not sure who on that particular channel. Someone is. No, it's someone else on the channel. Might just swap the channel over. Oh, they've gone. They've picked up their ride. Let's see how we're going. Gas axes are going with one. All right, I'm back. I know many of you missed me. Some of you are thinking now, oh, disappointing. Nonetheless, I think they've got about 17 minutes or so to go. Let's give them a big round of applause at this point in time. We're going to see someone finish pretty soon, I would imagine. I'm really happy about going cabled because it means I don't have to walk a long way and I'm not going to be anywhere near these trees that are being felled. So they are currently gas axing the Honda Blue Wing logo into that piece of steel. I don't know how many of them decided to do a little bit of oxyacetylene practice over the course of the last few months. You just never know what's going to come up in the competition. It's a lot of cable. Thanks, Jake. So, who have we got? Kieran McCann, by the look of it, he is on the gas axe. Pretty much everyone is. Where's Rasheen? There she is, down there. She's making her topiary ball. Valuable points being gained at every stage. Some people are going to finish towards the head, but I tell you what, you just never know. We have seen competitions decided by less than half a point over the years. So every single point in every single event is absolutely crucial. Some of the contestants have been in that position before. They know that every point they get during the course of today, yesterday with the technical day, and tomorrow night at the quiz is going to be crucial. Let's see who's going to make the early break away. It looks as if it's Calvin Ball is on to the water pump. Connect the water tank to the pump with the Alcathene pipe. Connect the outflow to the PVC pipe. Turn on pump until your motorbike key appears. Got to pump that key out, then get onto the bike. Once you're onto the bike, you come up. Then you can move on to fell down. You've got to fell your tree, then run back, get onto your bike, your beautiful little Honda 125, and you pootle up to the end where you will be greeted by Michelle from FMG, who will put up the flag and signify the fact that you have finished. Points for placing, but just as crucially, points for every aspect of the challenges. Moving on, by the look at, is he moving on? No, he's having a little look at his oxyacetylene settings. Joseph Watts. Calvin Ball has moved on. He's now setting the pace. Early leader Jake Jarman is back down, getting his toolkit by the look of it. Dale McElwee cutting out the Blue Wing logo. Jake Jarman grabbing his toolkit. Rasheen Topi, she's on the tractor. Joseph Watts. Not sure if he's finished. He looks like he's twiddling some knobs. He may be finished. Calvin Ball. Both Joseph and Calvin, having been here before as grand finalists, will be looking at each other to see who's going to move on, knowing that all the points are important. Sarah, you're the convener of this course. You know, what a cracker of an event. And by the look of it, we're going to get someone finishing. I was skeptical.
I was a little bit too, actually, but it's great that we will get someone finishing, I'd say. It's going to be pretty soon, which will be great.
When you're putting a course like this together, do you go back and look at some of the previous courses? Do you try to include a little bit of something, a bit of a surprise and something visual? Thought that was a B then, actually.
When you're creating a course like this, I've written a few of these over the years, and a couple of things. Obviously, we want to expose, have the amount of exposure for our sponsor family, so you'll see a fair number of them throughout the course. Also, wanting a bit of speed, so spectator friendly, but also some really good practical challenges, and I'm really impressed with how the contestants have gone today with these.
So am I. And then there's adding that little touch of, of cruelty, run down and skip for 30 seconds. We've often seen the grand final, they get to stand around and think about what they've done, not here.
No, I must say that's been the case with this one. We sort of went with the fact that you've got to go hard or go home. So, yeah, we'll make them skip. Why not?
Why not indeed? And you have gone hard. Like the farm blitz, all of the modules today have been absolutely sensational. The weather turned it on. You've got to be pretty happy with how the day's turned out so far.
Oh, really happy with it. It's gone pretty smoothly. Hopefully everyone's been able to see that. And yeah, just a huge thank you to everyone that's been here, our module hosts, and of course all my committee that's put this together.
Massive. What about a round of applause for all of the module hosts and the committee who's put this together? Give them a round of applause. It's a cracker of a day. I am on the edge of my metaphorical seat with excitement. Dale and Jake are now on their little water pumps. They're looking for their key. Calvin's got his going. Hopefully the key will pop out of there very, very soon. Next to him, Joseph Watts. Oh, there it is. There's the water. Great work. First to the key, Calvin Ball. He'll be back down. What has he got to do next? He's got to chop a tree down. So he's got to fell that tree. Great work. What a great spectacle.
Test.
So there we go. Calvin Ball onto the chainsaw. Crack, first pull. There it goes. Still reliable outdoor power equipment. Where's it going to fell the tree? Let's just make sure that our red flag judges and everyone are out of the way. We don't want that tree to fall on the red flag judge's head, and they would have to self-flag. So, I don't know how many people have ever had the pleasure of felling a tree this size. I haven't, but I do have an olive tree that's in the way of the sunset. I'm going to be chopping that down when I go home with my little chainsaw. Down the far end, by the look of it. Couple of guys putting their water pumps together. Rasheen has got her tractor turned around. She'll be coupling it up to that seed drill. Of course, not everyone's got their machine down. Some of them are looking for points. Where's Kieran McCann? There he is. He's onto the water pump. So is Sam. But it's Calvin Ball, grand finalist a few years ago, who knows exactly what to do in situations like this. He's opted to fell his tree by whittling it down piece by piece. Tiny fraction by tiny fraction. So Calvin Ball, we saw him here in 2016. He's had plenty of years to have a little think about this. A great competitor. He's just checking to make sure everybody's out of the way. Wants to get that tree felled. Anyone else got their water? There he is, next to him. Joseph Watts, missing out in 2020. There he is, looking to get that water pump going so that key to his bike will pop out and he can move on to the tree felling at this stage. It's all Calvin Ball, but it is very, very close down the line. Kieran McCann, what's he doing? He's got his tools. Haven't seen whether his water pump has pumped water yet. Next to him, Sam Hodsall's getting his pump set up. There he goes. Calvin Ball has got the water pump going. The water is being turned on. He'll be second to the key, hopefully. If he's got everything set up properly, he's having a little bit of a look. Down goes the tree. Off goes the saw. Back on goes the sheath. I don't know what that's called. I'm going to call it a sheath. And there he is, trotting. Look at those legs. After all of this, he's still got the energy to run back down to that bike. He's got to get on the bike, and he's got to make his way back up to here where I think Michelle is. Where's Michelle? Oh, she's over there. Hi, Michelle. Come in. You may come safely to this end of the course. But if I were you, I'd hurry because he's on his way. Water pump going, but water going not exactly where it's supposed to go for Joseph Watts. Water's got to go in the pipe and shoot the key out. He'll be getting frustrated, but look around, he's okay. Down a little bit further. Jake Jarman looks as if he's trying to get his water pump underway. Dale McAwee next to him. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, let's hop out of the way. Calvin Ball! Round of applause, he's finished it. I was really terrified for a moment there that he was going to take both hands off and triumphantly wave and be pinged for a safety violation and have to run all the way back down. What about a round of applause for Calvin Ball? What a great competitor. They all are. He's been here before. He is happy, and he still looks like he's got slightly too much energy. Receiving a hug from Michelle Stevens from FMG. She puts her heart and soul into this competition. She loves it. We really appreciate it. Let's have a look down on the chainsaw. Lane number 2. Jake Jardin. He's been a great competitor. He's going to fell this tree. He felled the mighty James Lawn over in Taraman, who is just one of the good competitors in this competition. He was looking forward to being here, but Jake Jarman, the young fella, came in, took it out. What's he like at felling trees? Who else is onto trees? Nobody. How are the water pumps going? Oh, actually, Joseph Watts is onto the tree. Water pump going down the end for Kieran McCann. He'll be happy about that. Straight onto the tree, Kieran. Onto the tree, my friend. 3 trees being felled. There he is, next to him, Sam Hodsall. Oh, it's going to be close. Neck and neck. Oh, Kieran's got to go back and get a saw by the look of it. How many? 7 minutes to go. We're going to have a flood of competitors finishing in the very near future. Sam Hodsall, he's got a saw ready to go. Kieran's had to go back and get his. Halfway through the tree now. Joseph Watts and Jake Jarman. Who's going to turn first? I think it was Jake Jarman's going to get that tree down. Joseph Watts looking to fell his. It's leaning, it's going down. Second one down. Jake Jarman representing Taranaki Manawatu. A master's degree in agri-science. And he certainly knows a lot about lopping trees down. Very, very close behind him is going to be Joseph Watts. Down to the bike. Jake Jarman. Joseph Watts, that tree should be falling any minute. Be careful. It's going to want to maybe give that a push or something. He's cut through it. It's just sitting there, basically. He's sitting there on the saw. Into the tree. Sam Hodsall. Into his gear. Kieran McCann. Let's have a look at what's going to happen with this tree. It's the danger of logging. Push it over. There we go. Tree is down, but coming up the far side, it's Jake Jarman, the young man from Taraman, racing. Well, I say racing. Idling his way into second place. A massive round of applause for Jake Jarman. A smile as big as the mountain over there in Taranaki. Racing down to the far end and into third place is going to be Joseph Watts. He is a great competitor. If you've ever seen him in the Agri-Knowledge quiz, he is brilliant. But he's going to be up against 6 other brilliant competitors as well. Oh, a red flag. Who got red flagged? I heard the whistle blow. For who? Sam Hodsall. Sam Hodsall had the red flag. Has got to run down. That's a minute or 2 out of his day. Meanwhile, Kieran McCann slicing through that tree down the far end. Dale McAwee. How's that tree felling going for Dale McAwee? Representing the Aorangi region, Contract Milker. I don't know how many trees he's got. And there is Joseph Watts. A round of applause for Joseph Watts. Not everything went his way today in this, but he's come in third. Really super, super great. He'll be happy to get finished. Dale McAwee just about through his tree. Who's going to turn first? Uh-oh. Was that a whistle? Safety violation for Kieran McCann? Could have been. And coming back up the course now, he's done his 30 seconds of skipping. Here comes Sam Hodsall. All he's got to do is fell that tree, run a really long way back to his bike, get it started, and ride back down here as the sun shines. And he's... Dale McAwee has adopted the I'm going to push the tree over technique. The tree says, no, Dale, I'm going to rigidly stay upright until such time. There it is, it's down. Straight down to the bike once he's made that secured his saw. Off he's going to go down to the bike. Where is Rasheen? On the tractor. Looking to get points for the tractor. Down goes the tree for Sam Hodsall. Back off down to the bike. Kieran McCann can't be too far behind him. We must only have a couple of minutes to go. 3 minutes to go. That's like 2, but slightly more. By the time I finish telling us, there'll be 3, 2. So we are going to get another finisher down the far end with Dale McElwee. There he is, a massive round of applause for Dale. Toot, toot, he says. Coming down through, taking out 4th position. 3 people still on the course. Kieran McCann, one of them's going to finish right now. Sam Hodsall, massive round of applause for Sam Hodsall. Kieran McCann on the bike, looking to get it started. A little further down the track, Rasheen. Tell you what, though, you never know where people have picked up points in all of the other modules. Still a chance to score a lot of points with the speech tonight and the Agri-Knowledge quiz tomorrow night. Everyone's got their strengths. You don't get to be in this competition without having a number of strengths, and likewise everyone's got a little bit of a weakness. Here's Kieran McCann. Downy Pootles. Tooty toot toot. Congratulations, young Kieran McCann. Waibop grand finalist. As we count down the time, 1 competitor left on the course. Let's see how long we've got to go before the hooter blows. 1:40. Are we going to get it hooked up and moved in that 1:40? Yes, we are. What about a round of applause for Rasheen Woods? You go, Rasheen. She's got that seed drill on. She's making her way up. That'll just about be time. We'll be heading off to the beautiful Christchurch Town Hall, glorious concrete brutalism that it is, for the Agri Kids prize giving for the FMG Junior, Agri-Knowledge quiz for the speech competition for the FMG Young Farmer of the Year, and then the prize giving for all of our young people. We won't know who the winner of this competition is going to be until late tomorrow night out at Wigram with what promises to be an excellent event. What a cracker of a day. Brilliant modules, a great farmlet, this incredible Agri-Sport course, and the weather turning it on for what has been one of the most spectacular FMG Young Farmer of the Year Grand Finals. We were a bit damp in Napier. We're a bit cold and damp in Invercargill, but I tell you what, this is exactly what we want. So a massive thanks to everyone who's made this possible today, particularly our competitors. A lot of people enter these contests at district level. They're whittled down to the incredible finalists you get at a regional level, and then these 7 phenomenal grand finalists. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Don't point the hooter at me. Right about a round of applause for Rasheen Woods. What a great competitor from the Tasman region. Great work, Rasheen. Great work. Again, a round of applause for all 7 of our FMG Young Farmer of the Year Grand Finalists. Kieran McCann looks as if he can barely lift his hand into the air for that relatively low high five. I'm exhausted having just watched them. A huge thanks to the committee for putting today on. What a phenomenal amount of work. A big thank you to all of you, the spectators who have come along today to support your region's finalists, and indeed the finalists of all the regions. If you're not even a member, you've just come along for a day out, thanks for coming along. We're going to pop into Christchurch. I'm going to freshen up, and then I'm going to ask kids a lot of very difficult questions and listen to some speeches. Thanks, everybody. Travel safe. We'll see some of you tonight at the FMG Junior Agri Quiz and the FMG Young Farmer Speech Competition, and many of you we will see tomorrow night for the glamour event of the gala dinner and quiz. Sounds good to me.